Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. What's up, everybody? Good morning and a very happy Monday to you all. Hopefully you all had a fantastic weekend, a great Father's Day weekend yesterday, and you're ready to hit up a brand new work week here, whether you are listening on the radio dials, got a couple of those, 105.1 FM and 790 AM, or streaming us up online at sportstalk1051.com. You've got the app. You can download that, take it on the go, the Wisco Sports app. Your smart devices, smart speakers like your Alexa, Amazon Alexa devices, Google devices, and of course the video stream that is up and rolling right now on YouTube, where we've already got listeners chiming in on the Section 105 chat room over there. Good morning, peeps there too. And of course, don't forget the Shoe Doctors bullpen line. 715-830-1912. You can give us a shout on there or hit us up with a text. Where Rando from Chippewa Falls already texted in saying, happy Father's Day. I hope you had an outstanding weekend. So big thanks for making us a part of your start if you are already up and at it. What do we have on our game plan for us this morning? Well, we're going to talk a little Brewers, as the Brewers did drop their series against the Braves this past weekend. Just winning one game, their lone win coming yesterday, with Robert Gasser again putting together a couple of solid starts, maybe looking like the Robert Gasser that we saw from a couple of years ago in 2024 before he had his Tommy John surgery. But he picked up his first win of the season, giving up just 2 earned runs, striking out 7 batters in 6 innings of work. Chad Patrick getting the save, his 4th save of the season, going 3 innings. So Brewers sitting there at 46 and 29 on the season, and they're set to begin a series against the Reds, divisional opponent. So we're going to preview that game, which sounds like we're going to also see the return of Brandon Woodruff getting the start for the Brewers tonight. So we'll recap the weekend series where we saw Mizorowski, we saw Harrison pitching on Friday and Saturday respectfully, and then of course Robert Gasser yesterday, and then we'll take a look ahead to Brandon Woodruff's start. So plenty of Brewers talk coming your way here this morning. Speaking of baseball, should also note it was a good weekend for the Eau Claire Express too, picking up a 2-game sweep over the Wilmer Stingers. They're going to be hitting the road and taking on Duluth tonight, but it is Monday, which means we will catch up with our friends from the Eau Claire Express at 9 o'clock, shortly after 9 o'clock this morning, as we preview the upcoming week for the Express. They are going to be back at home tomorrow against Duluth, and then Waterloo. They're going to be hitting the road against Waterloo on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we've got lacrosse coming, another series against lacrosse, so home and away for the Express. Actually, yeah, home and a couple, back and forth, holy moly. So home against lacrosse, away against lacrosse, home against lacrosse, and then back away against lacrosse. So, but we'll chat all things Express with our good peeps over there just shortly after 9 o'clock this morning. It is the week. Due deadlines, in fact, spur action. We'll find out whether Giannis, maybe we'll find out or not, whether Giannis will be a Milwaukee Buck by tomorrow's soft deadline that Jimmy Haslam, one of the co-owners of the Milwaukee Bucks, put out there for the Bucks to trade Giannis. We'll go over the latest rumors, reports, rumblings, whatever the heck you want to call them, that's out there on social media. But we'll go through the latest surrounding the Giannis talk. Is it getting closer to a decision? Is it getting closer to him going to the Heat or the Celtics? What are the latest ones out there? We'll go through it all. And you can give us your thoughts, too, on whether you think we'll find out if Giannis is going to get traded by tomorrow or not. Where are you at on the Giannis-o-meter from a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being you would bet your 401k or G-Man's 401k that he's going to be gone by tomorrow, or maybe zero, where you're like guaranteed he's still going to be on the team and maybe for the upcoming season. So we'll get you updated on the latest rumors and rumblings that are currently out there surrounding one Giannis Antetokounmpo. It is a Monday, which also means it is a best and worst, a VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. So we'll hit us up with what you think is the best and worst from the weekend. Doesn't make anything from the sports world. Maybe your kiddos. I know there was a lot of Little League and softball tournaments around the area, so maybe that was the best of the weekend on a Father's Day weekend. But what was also the worst? You can share it with the rest of the class. All right, we'll do our usual Monday morning GPT. We'll ask. We still got to come up with a better name and a good name for our AI Chat GPT coach Monday morning quarterback over there. So, but we'll throw. I've already got the question thrown in there, and we'll kind of tease you on that one a little bit here, and we'll probably get to that coming up a little bit later on. We'll continue our 250 countdown with America turning 250 years old. We've got 15 more sports moments in the last 250 years to highlight in our countdown as we get closer and closer and closer to July 4th. So that's kind of your game plan for us this morning, and wherever else the conversation takes us, as you guys and gals already know. Sometimes we get on a little bit of a sidetrack and tangent, but that's okay too. So, but good morning to Barb on the video stream as well. Let's get things rocking and rolling here this morning, shall we? We'll take our first break, and then we've got the leadoff coming up. We're going to open up things, talking some Milwaukee Brewers, recapping the series loss to the Atlanta Braves, and then looking ahead to the upcoming series against the Reds. We'll just take a look at tonight's game. But we got Brandon Woodruff. From all accounts, Brandon Woodruff is going to get the start tonight for the Brewers. So let's talk some baseball. Plus, we're going to introduce a new guest that you're going to be hearing on Monday mornings here for a little bit too. So that's going to be coming up right after our first break. We'll be right back to kick things off with the leadoff after these quick words. Summer is the season for golf, softball, pickleball, running, and staying active. But aches and pains, they can quickly slow you down. That's where Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine comes on in. Their experienced team helps weekend warriors and athletes of all ages get back to doing what they love with expert care and treatment options designed to keep you moving. Play more, hurt less. That's Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. You can get started today by checking out their website at cvosm.com. That's cvosm.com. All right, before we get to a little Brewers chat here this morning, we got another voice that's going to be joining us here for a couple hours each Monday morning. Well, why don't you introduce yourself, Justin? How you doing? Welcome
I'm doing
aboard,
good. Doing good.
All. So, yeah, give us a little intro. Tell the world who's this new voice that they're hearing right now on the airwaves.
Yeah, I'm new here. I graduated a couple years ago from UW-Milwaukee, journalism and communications major. Born and raised in Wisconsin my entire life, so huge sports fan, especially Brewers, Packers, Bucks, all that. So I'm excited to be here, excited to talk a little bit of sports, and yeah, let's get right to it, I guess.
So you are a Memorial graduate, correct?
Yes,
so
I
you
am.
are an Eau Claire.
Yes.
Eau Claire person. So, well, and then we got... Once in a while, or I should say once in a while, we do usually do it. New people, we got to do a little lightning round question first.
Yeah,
we really got to get to know you first. So
sounds good.
All right, favorite food?
Oh, probably bratwurst.
Oh, see, now you're just tugging at the heartstrings of everybody. You're going, so sauerkraut, yes or no?
No.
Ooh. Okay.
I am a ketchup only person.
Uh-oh. That's a debate now, too. Do you put ketchup on a brat?
I do.
Okay.
I do, 100%.
All right. Do you put a mustard or no? Just ketchup?
No, just ketchup. Just ketchup.
All right. How about favorite, let's go favorite movie.
Favorite movie? Probably Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, great one.
Last thing that you binge watched, like on Netflix, Hulu, or whatever streaming devices are out there?
That would be The Boys off Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's a good one, too. Man, you got some good answers. Do you have a favorite book? I know this one's usually tough for a lot of people.
Not exactly. Not at the moment, no. I'm much more of a visual person. I'm not a huge book reader.
Yeah.
So.
Nope, that makes sense. How about favorite team? If you had to pick one.
Brewers.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Favorite athlete growing up?
Favorite athlete growing up, that would have to be Ryan Braun.
Nice. Yep.
Rogers is up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Randall Cobb. I love that connection, but Braun was my biggest intro to sports.
Nice. I like that one. Let's go. What's your favorite go-to place here in Eau Claire? Like get to eat or to hang out, to grab coffee, whatever the case may be.
Oh, that's a tough one. Go-to place, I would say it sucks because it's closed for renovations right now, but Milwaukee Burger.
Solid choice.
Food, drinks, all of it is great there. Atmosphere. So.
I saw some of the, so our friend Alex from Wax was showing me some of the pictures from the inside. They're going to have a cool brewer thing.
I am very excited. I know somebody who works there. They were saying they were hoping to be open last Friday, and I was a little bit bummed because they were not, evidently, but
yeah,
I'm excited for it.
Awesome. Well, welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you very much.
And hey, if anybody has questions for Justin and such, so Justin's going to be here from about 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. every Monday morning for us, which also means he's going to help out too. So if you want to give us a shout, because as you all know, sometimes I miss your phone calls because we've got 5 computer screens in here that one I can't see on the other side because that's Justin's over there, but 4 in front of me. So sometimes I can't see the phone line. So Justin's going to help out with that too. So, or you can always do the shoot us a text on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912. Well, let's open up things on the leadoff, talking some Brewers. Let's talk some Brewers here. As one of our friends on the video stream says, sad about ketchup, hot take, that's a child's condiment. So you see, I knew that was going to be Matt's having some good fun. He sent the winky face over there too. So, but let's get things going here and talk a little Brew Crew here. As the Brewers falling to the Braves this past weekend, we had Jacob Misiorowski getting the start on Friday, but the Brewers falling in that contest. Okay, sometimes the computer freezes up too. So, but that game 3-2 loss. Misiorowski does get charged with the loss, but it was a quality start from Misiorowski. I would say 6 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs, striking out 7. Brewers offense couldn't really get it going there, scoring just 1 run in the top of the third and 1 run in the 9th to inch a little bit closer. They did out-hit the Brewers, out-hit the Braves 11 hits to 7, just not able to get those runs across the board to give Misiorowski his 9th win of the season. Bryce Terang, a couple hits, and he was the man that got all the RBIs for the Brewers in that game. But after that, and Vaughn collected a couple hits. You had Mitchell collecting a couple of hits, just not able to manufacture any of those runs. And it was kind of the same thing a little bit in Saturday's game with Kyle Harrison on the mound. Brewers falling at 4-3. They did have the lead going into the bottom of the 9th, but the Braves able to pick up the win with a couple of runs in the bottom of the 9th. Harrison going 6 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks for him, no walks. Aaron Ashby, though, giving up a couple of earned runs with the home run, and the Braves able to secure the series win with that win on Saturday. But Brewers bounced back yesterday and picked up the 9-4 victory. It helps when you put up 8 runs in the second inning to give Robert Gasser some nice breathing room right away. But, talk about him now, back-to-back performances from him, back-to-back solid outings from him. Even back on the 16th, he went 5 2/3 against the Guardians. Had the no decision, but he only gave up 2 hits and struck out 5, and then he picked up his first win of the season, going 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 7 strikeouts to help the Brewers avoid being swept and picking up a win. But also, too, just probably from a confidence standpoint, I would have to imagine, just with Robert Gasser especially, to put together a couple of starts now, back-to-back starts, where he looked like the guy from 2024 before he had the Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, I think it's just like you said, the confidence thing. He looks a lot better on the mound, a lot more comfortable. The 8 runs definitely helped yesterday. But, I remember I watched him on Memorial Day against the Cubs 2 years ago, where he had a fantastic start, and I was thinking he could be the next maybe potential ace, and then, of course, the Tommy John surgery. But these last 2 starts, I think, have meant a lot for him, and I think will hopefully get him a stable spot in the rotation going forward. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's amazing because the Brewers have had a problem finding, I feel like, that third piece in the rotation. Woodruff being out doesn't help, but you have Mizorowski, certified all-star, Cy Young favorite at this point. Mm-hmm. Kyle Harrison, who, aside from one bad start in Vegas, but no pitchers seem to do well there, has looked amazing. But Drouin has had ups and downs. Sproat has had more downs than ups. So I am excited to hopefully maybe have a third piece of that 1-2 punch that they have right now. It'd be nice to have that third person to come through when you need it.
Right. And Logan Henderson still on the injured list at this point, too. So you mentioned Brandon Woodruff. So let's kind of move on to Woodruff here, because nothing official yet from the Brewers, but all signs indicate that Brandon Woodruff is going to make the start for the Crew tonight to open up a series with the Reds. Not the easiest ballpark for a pitcher to go back and get a start for the first time here in a while, but it'll be interesting to see where Brandon Woodruff's fastball is at, because the last we saw him, that was kind of the big indicator that something was wrong with him, because I mean he was only getting in the 80s and such.
82 to 85 he was topping out at.
Yeah, like low to mid 80s. So, and now it's been a hot minute, but I think they've been extra cautious with him too, because, well, one, they just keep winning ball games, so it forces you to be cautious with that. But to get Woodruff back in it in this rotation, I think we're still at the point of we're just kind of I don't know, maybe I am, maybe I'm the only one. I'm holding my breath every time he goes out there. Whether it's this issue or the shoulder injury from a couple years ago, it's like he's a very fragile but important piece to this rotation, and that's kind of how I'm approaching this. I'm like, just holding your breath every time he's out there.
Well, that's what it's been the last 2 years or so. It's when is he going to be able to take the mound? Is he going to stay healthy? And then they extended him the qualifying offer, which was the right move, but he accepts that, so you're paying him upwards of $20 million. Mm-hmm. You need him to be able to go out there and perform. You can't just have him sitting on the bench. So
right.
I'm excited, but it's going to be like you. I'm probably going to be holding my breath when he goes out there every time he throws, pretty much.
And it's kind of like, what should the expectation be for Brandon Woodruff now? Like, do we have to? Yes, he's making a lot of money. He's making $20-some million to pitch this year. But if we take that away, what should the expectation be for Brandon Woodruff? Is it just, setting the bar low? Can we get 5 innings out of him in each start and maybe just a couple of runs in here? Is it just, providing that veteran presence? Because I think it's clearly evident he is a team leader, especially when it comes to this very young pitching group, to have a Brandon Woodruff in there. And I know Christian Yelich last year, with the high compliment saying, if we're in a playoff game, that's the guy I want out there. And I think they're hoping, as a fan base, for us, we're hoping if the Brewers do make the postseason, Woodruff is going to be available, because I think just having that veteran presence, a guy who has pitched in a lot of playoff games or big games, to throw him in that rotation is going to be, such a huge bonus here. But, what should that expectation be for Woodruff? Because I feel like a lot of fans are going to still have high expectations because he is getting $20-some million, and I get that, and I understand that. But at the same time, when it comes to a health standpoint, do we just if we could get 5-6 innings out of him and just maybe a couple of earned runs, should we set that bar low as maybe at least in the beginning of his return?
I think in the beginning, yeah, it needs to be low. I would like for him to, like you said, at least get 5-6 innings, maybe just eat some innings, because this bullpen I know is getting taxed. Mm-hmm. So it'd be nice for him to just go out there. I mean, I'm okay with him giving up some runs if we can just get some production out of him.
Right.
That's the main thing. Make sure he's healthy. Get him to throw, hopefully at least 5 innings. But yeah, I mean, I'd be okay setting the bar a little bit lower. I mean, just want production out of him pretty much, even if it's towards average. But
yeah.
I mean, 5 innings, I would be happy with that, even if he gave up 2 runs.
And I know the sexy topic or the hot topic that every Brewers fan wants to talk about is trade deadline and Skubal and adding him to a rotation that has Mizorowski and Harrison. But I'd be curious if when Woodruff comes back and looking at his next few starts, what if he goes out there and he kind of looks like vintage Woodruff? Should that die down some of the talk about a need of adding another starter? I mean, Yet Logan Henderson eventually is going to be back. We just saw Robert Gasser again put together a couple of solid starts in there too. So, I'm kind of curious to see, with Woodruff now making hopefully a few starts before that trade deadline, does that eliminate the conversation or the need, depending on how you feel about it, for the Brewers to go out there and get another starting pitcher?
I don't think it's going to completely eliminate the talk about it because everybody's going to talk about Skubal. My friends have been talking about Skubal, and everybody's going to want him, which I understand. But if he has two vintage Woodruff starts, I think that the need definitely goes down on it. And I might get some flack for this, but I honestly would rather see the Brewers try to improve one or two bats rather than get Skubal. When you look at last year, the playoffs against the Dodgers and against the Braves, these were all, except for the win, the losses were very close, and the losses against the Dodgers, one or two bats wins you at least a couple of those games. Mm-hmm. So, yes, having Skubal, like Ms. Harrison Skubal, would be a nasty, insane 1-2-3 punch, but I don't think it's really needed, especially, like you said, Henderson coming back. Woodruff could look like himself. Gasser getting this confidence. I would much rather see the Brewers go out and try to add a good, solid one or two bats to really bolster the lineup and make sure that every spot in the order is a threat, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's been a big topic, not only recently, but I mean, in the offseason, we look at that Dodgers series in the postseason, and a lot of people will look at that as the main example why this team needs more offensive help, maybe a power bat within the middle of the lineup. And then you look at the Braves series this past week in the first two games, close games. I mean, that first game they out-hit them, but not a lot of run production to get in there.
Well, that's the problem when you don't hit many home runs. I mean, I am a big lover of small ball, so I'm okay when the Brewers do it that way. But when you have 11 hits and you still lose because you cannot hit a home run, that's something needs to change at some point. Mm-hmm. Whether it's Mitchell stepping up and making contact a little bit more, because when he makes contact, the ball flies off the bat,
right?
Or if it's adding somebody else to really help with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's talk some more Brewers. Got plenty more. In fact, I want to talk a little bit more about Cooper Pratt and what we've seen from an offensive standpoint from Cooper Pratt here in his first few games as a pro. But we got to take a quick break. But plenty more Brewers talk as we get set for, sounds like, the return of Brandon Woodruff tonight in a series against the Reds. And I know we got the Cubs coming up after that too, and we like to look a little bit ahead, but let's not fall flat on our face and lose a series against the Reds before we get to the Cubs here. So plenty more Brewers talk coming up after these quick words. Summer is here, and that means it is time to hit the road in something that you love. And at Toyson Ford, you will find a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles ready for every adventure. Are you looking for power? How about comfort, reliability? Hey, they've got it all, backed by a team that's committed to making your car buying experience easy and stress-free. So whether it's a weekend getaway or your daily drive, make sure that you are riding in style this summer. Toyson Ford in Chippewa Falls, where your next journey begins. You can check them out online at toysonford.net or visit them at 1000 Chippewa Crossing Boulevard in Chippewa Falls. All right, let's continue to talk some more Brewers here this morning. And, well, we've gotten a few more games under Cooper Pratt's belt here. And obviously a lot of the talk while he was in AAA been defense. It's just been his offense has to be the thing that, keep working on in that. Well, I mean, early impressions in just his first 19 at-bats, the dude's hitting .368, and he's got a .777 OPS so far. Incredibly early. Completely understand that. But, again, first impressions are a lot for a lot of people. And right now, you got to tip your cap to him, I think, because he's coming out and, well, he's hit the ball pretty well, and hopefully we talk about confidence and building. Baseball is such a sport of streaks and ebbs and flows and that. But, for a guy that we have, as fans, have constantly been told he just needs to get better offensively, needs to continue to improve. Well, he's off to a really good start offensively. And I think, for a lot of Brewers fans, considering what we've seen from the left side of the infield from an offensive standpoint here for the last year plus now, I'll take a 368 or a 777 OPS in his first 6 career games. Obviously, those numbers are probably going to go down a little bit, but still, I think you got to give him a lot of credit for his first week or so into the big leagues, and I think he's playing pretty well at this point. He's already got 3 stolen bases here too. So, I mean, when he is getting on base, dude's being effective. What's been your first impressions so far for Cooper Pratt?
First impressions, I mean, I love what I'm seeing out of him. Like you said, I mean, 368, and when you look at kind of the splits as well, he's hitting virtually the same from each side of the play, or each side of pitchers, lefty and righty.
Yep.
It's really nice to see, actually. It, hopefully gives you some flexibility in the lineup. I mean, he's a stable glove, even though he does have that one error, which was a little rough. But like you said, 368, the on-base percentage, I'd like to see a little bit high. I mean, 409 is obviously amazing, but I'd like it to be a little bit higher than the average than that. But I love what I'm seeing out of him. I can't really complain, can't really ask for more. Like you said, the 3 stolen bases, it adds, he's effective on the base path and everything.
Yeah.
I love what I'm seeing out of him. I mean, and I'm hoping that he can be a stable bat in the order, especially at that 8 spot.
Yeah.
Just get on for the top of the order, pretty much.
Right. And, those 3 stolen bases, you probably look at him. If he's just standing there, you're watching him in the field. Dude's big. He's like 6'4".
He's 6. I thought he was like 6'2" or something.
Okay.
6'1", but he's a big guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And he doesn't look like a guy that's going to steal bases, right? I mean, he kind of towers over Bryce Terang.
Yeah, he is 6'4".
Is he 6'4"? Okay.
Yeah, you did get that right.
So it's like, he doesn't look like a threat to steal the base, but I mean, holy moly. He's got that sneaky speed we like to call out there. But yeah, first impressions, he's been good. He's been solid, kind of maybe solidifying, like you said, the bottom of the order. And the thing is, I believe too, like a lot of his hits, he's going to Oppo.
Yeah.
Punching it to right field too.
Every single hit except for one has been Oppo. Which, I mean, even if it's just pushing it through the right side of the infield, that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, the fact that he's got that confidence to push it over there too. I mean, if we did like first quarter or first week grades in that, like you said, obviously the error, I kind of almost chalked that up to butterflies in his first game. The throwing error to first base. I got that out of the way. My first major league error.
Yep.
And just all right, now we roll. But I've been very happy with what we've seen from Cooper Pratt. Also knowing that those numbers are probably going to go a little bit down, but still, it's been first impressions have been really, really solid so far. So
well, and like you said, with the speed and him going Oppo, is if teams start to notice that, it might even be able to break up some double plays in the future because that second baseman's not going to be able to cheat as far over.
Yeah.
And like you said, the sprint speed, I mean, Baseball Savant has him graded 85, which is great pretty much. I mean, I am excited to see what he can do, even if it's just you come up with somebody on first and he beats out a double play, or he forces one to break up because they can't.
Right.
You can't defend the right side of the infield and cheat over to help you out with that double play.
Right.
I'm excited to see in the future.
Good point. That's a good point. So what should the expectation, or what are your expectations for Brandon Woodruff now that he is, by all accounts, going to be making his return to the lineup, to the mound tonight for the Brew Crew? You can let us know. Hit us up, 715-830-1912, or you can chime in on the Section 105 chat room on the video stream as well. So even though the Brewers did drop 2 out of 3 against the Braves this past weekend, they still have a comfortable, nice lead in the division. You're looking at, as we open up another week here, they're up 5 games on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals have been 4-6 in their last 10. It helps that the rest of the teams in the division haven't gone on these, nice runs and such, including, the Cubs are 6-4 in their last 10, but Pittsburgh 4-6 in their last 10, and the Reds 5-5 in their last 10. They did win their last 2 in a row, but they're 2 games under 500 at this point, as we are approaching already, believe it or not, the halfway mark of this season. We're about 46% of the way. So after another series or 2, we're going to be at the halfway mark of this season, which is kind of, I guess, July 4th is coming up here in a couple weeks, so it makes sense. But Brewers 46-29, Atlanta's 48-28, the Dodgers 49-29. If you kind of keeping tabs of the teams on top of the chase in the National League. If we look at it from a Major League standpoint, Brewers still, I mean, it's those three teams, if you add in the American League teams, are the three best record-wise all across Major League Baseball. The Yankees are close. They're 46-30, but the Brewers holding on to a slight win percentage lead because of, the win-loss column there too. But did we learn anything? I mean, Friday we talked about this series with the Braves. It's kind of a nice benchmark series going head-to-head against one of the best teams in Major League Baseball, and for some people, the best team in Major League Baseball at this point. Did we learn anything? Is it kind of going back to what we were saying a little bit earlier? Did it solidify the need for another bat within this lineup? Because you look at the first two games, you had quality starts from Mizorowski and Harrison, and they were close, but just not enough offense to take it over the top. Is that the biggest thing that we learned from this series, do you think?
Yeah, I think just like you said, that need for another bat, especially a power bat, was the biggest thing. Or, I mean, even somebody that can just hit with runners in scoring position. I remember, funny enough, this year when Brandon Lockridge went down, that was the biggest worry because he was one of the better hitters with runners in scoring position. And the Brewers had the bases loaded, I think, in the bottom, what was it, the eighth inning? Mm-hmm. And they could not score or get a run across, and they did that twice against the Guardians as well in that final game. So I think it just kind of solidifies that maybe that need for a bat, but also this offense is very streaky. I mean, you saw 7 runs in the second inning yesterday, and then or 8 runs, sorry, and then won the rest of the game. So I think it's just, kind of that need for another bat, a consistent bat, I would say.
Yeah, that consistent power bat in the middle of the order, right? And maybe that would have made the difference between a game out of these, last 2 games. And they were right there in game 2, but Braves able to put up those 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth to get the come-from-behind victory. So, but, I would say, too, you look at, I don't think when looking at it's just a small sample size of 3 games between the Brewers and the Braves. And if we use the Braves as the example of one of the better teams in Major League Baseball, I don't think there's a huge gap from what we've seen in 3 games between the Brewers and the Braves. Braves, they won the series. So, right now, if we were to power rank them, you got to put the Braves ahead of the Brewers. But I don't think there's a huge gap. And I think if there's anything from last year that told us too, Brewers swept the Dodgers in the regular season, but when they meet in the postseason, it was a completely different story. But I think, from a benchmark standpoint, these are 2 teams that are right now, as we approach halfway through the season, cream of the crop in the National League along with the Dodgers. And I think that proved it from this past weekend too. So.
And like you said, the gap is definitely not big. It was a 1-run game on Friday, and then it took a walk-off heroic from Ozzie Albies, which, I was busy, so I didn't see it, but I heard that he checked his swing on strike 3, and a lot of people were saying he went, and they said that he didn't, and then he hits that walk-off. So if that goes the different way, the Brewers could win that series and pick up 2 of 3. So, and you're going to see him again at home, so later in the year. But yeah, I think that, like you said, that gap is not a very wide gap. No. And I'm excited if they meet in the postseason, if the Brewers can make it and the Braves can make it. I'm excited to see that series because I think it'll be phenomenal.
I agree. All right, we got to take our final break, and we are cruising through on the first hour here this morning. So continue to send us your thoughts. You can hit us up. I know it's a Monday morning, and we're just groggling to get up. And then, by the way, how was your early wake-up call?
Believe it or not, I've kind of been up for a few hours.
Really? Okay.
I was nervous and excited about this at the same time.
Nice.
So as soon as my body kind of woke me up at pretty much 3:30 in the morning.
All right.
And I wasn't really able to fall asleep. So
nice. So, you wait till you get a few more of these under your belt and such. So, all right, let's take a quick break, and we'll start to wrap up the first hour already. But hit us up, 715-830-1912. Or again, on the Section 105 chat room if you want to talk a little Brewers. Give us your thoughts on Giannis. We're going to hit that up coming up here in just a little bit. The latest rumors and reports or rumblings, whatever you want to call them, that are out there surrounding Giannis. What's your internal thermometer telling you? Do you think Giannis is going to be a member of the Milwaukee Bucks by Wednesday morning? Or do you think he'll be on a different team by then? Or maybe you think he's still going to be traded, but it won't be by the draft. How disappointed would you be if it wasn't by the draft? You can let us know on that, too. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back to wrap up the first hour coming up after these Quick words. Summer cookout season is here, and nobody does summer grilling better than Mike's Star Market in Eau Claire. From premium steaks and fresh burgers to brats and chicken, you'll find quality and value throughout the store. Before your next cookout, stop by Mike's Star Market today and stock up on the freshest ingredients around. You can visit them at 2238 Heimstead Road in Eau Claire, and make sure to follow their Facebook page as well for the latest events and deals that are going on. I know they just had a car show over there a few days ago. So Mike's Star Market in Eau Claire, helping make summer gatherings a delicious one and a memorable one. So we're going to get to some Bucks chat here with the NBA draft starting tomorrow. That is kind of the soft deadline that was thrown out there by co-owner Jimmy Haslam to get a deal done for Giannis. Now, I know late last week there were some rumblings that even if a deal isn't done by the draft, it still could be done. But the latest kind of rumors and rumblings out there now, we've been hearing the Heat as the favorite. Now it seems like, based at least Mark Stein and some others, maybe the Celtics have kind of jumped into the lead now for Giannis. And I know Mark Stein had put up there that it's a Jaylen Brown kind of centered deal with that. And I know some Bucks fans, and probably a majority of Bucks fans, wouldn't like that move for Jaylen Brown. I wonder, if it is Jaylen Brown, do they flip Jaylen Brown somewhere else then for maybe more picks or younger players? But right now, my internal meter, Giannis meter, is probably like an 8.3 that I feel like he's going to be dealt at this point. Where are you at?
I'm almost. I don't know. I don't want to say 5 because that seems like a cop out, but I'm almost more at a 4. I mean, this seems to happen every year. Granted, this year there's got more heat, no pun intended, on it. But I mean, it just seems like the Bucks are super reluctant or just want too much than teams are willing to give up. Even though Giannis is only 32 and had basically the entire year off last year, I think he's going to come back, pretty much the best version of himself. But based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like the Bucks just want too much, and I don't think teams are willing to budge. But as the draft gets closer, maybe a team is willing to throw in an extra first-round pick and go for it and just go all in. But yeah, I'm kind of at like a 4. But I'm not going to be surprised if he is dealt.
Yeah, because I was also seeing some of the stuff too where I think it was one of the rumors or reports out there that said that the Bucks were just asking way too much for Giannis that was turning teams away. And so maybe this is just my bias thinking is like, okay, maybe they're just putting a price tag on it that is so much that they know that teams probably aren't going to make that deal. But if a team does make that deal, it's like, okay, then we have to say yes because that's an amazing deal. Or, then it's like, okay, we'll keep Giannis and then we'll work on the extension. Or I can't see them letting him walk in free agency after this upcoming season. So if they begin the season with Giannis, do they still try to work on an extension? Do they trade him by the deadline? I don't know, but I can see that other point too is like, and again, I don't know if this is just my mind trying to convince myself of this. Are they just putting a price tag out there that is so high that no team would do it? But if a team does do it, the Bucks would be an idiot to not say yes to because it's got to be the biggest trade package in the history of the NBA. Yeah. And I this one is so hard to gauge because I do feel like Giannis wants to play for Milwaukee, but I also feel like, this is just my opinion, is he confident in that roster? Because that's the other thing too is like whatever team he goes to, if that team is willing to give up this huge package, are they that much better than what Milwaukee's going to be if they trade away all these younger players and assets? Obviously if he goes to Boston, he's going to be paired up with Jason Tatum. But I think you look at a lot of these teams, you look at the Thunder, you look at the Spurs, even the Knicks, it's taken more than just 2 guys to win a championship.
Well, even when the Brewers had, I know Middleton isn't on those levels, but it took Middleton, Holiday, and then even like Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez playing like key contributor roles to go there. And again, this expected Heat offer, you get Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, and Jamie Jaquez Jr. and their number 13 overall pick. So that's like depleting them of quite a few players, even if they're not starters. I mean, like you said, are they going to be able to compete? Because the Knicks, the Spurs, and the Thunder have such deep rosters. I mean, all of them have probably at least 4 players deep,
right.
I'd say, and those were obviously the 3 best teams, at least in the postseason.
Right. Like, I get it that, Giannis, if he had his picking, he wants to go to a team that's going to win now. I mean, look at the age and all that. So there's some teams out there I just wonder, Miami specifically, he goes there. What's him and Bam? Lee, I can't see him and Bam with that Miami team all of a sudden being better than the Knicks, better than the Cavs or the Pistons or even the Celtics. If they keep Jaylen Brown and Tatum, I don't see that being a better team. And I don't know. I got to imagine Giannis is aware of that too, right? And maybe this is where it goes back to, is this a Giannis decision or is this more of an ownership decision? And I just wonder if it's more of a Bucks front office ownership decision at this point.
I think it kind of is. I mean, Giannis hasn't, as far as I know, publicly requested a trade. He hasn't really spoken much on it this offseason. So I think it's just kind of the owners deciding what to do and deciding, can we still win now? Can we still work out an extension? Which I think they can. The Miles Turner throwing Giannis under the bus last year might not help with that, but it certainly can be done. I mean, they have the number 10 overall pick, and if you hit on that, I mean, like you said, if he goes to Miami, it's him and Bam. If the Bucks hit on this 10th overall pick, the Bucks could be just as good as the Heat with Giannis. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to see what they do in the draft, especially if Giannis sticks around.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. You're going to get a top 10 pick. If you keep Giannis, you're getting a top 10 pick to add to him in a draft that a lot of the experts out there saying is a deep draft, is a draft that's got some talent in there. The only question I would have is, do I trust John Horst to make that correct pick?
I'm going to be honest. I do not trust John Horst to make that pick. The last, I don't know, however many first-round picks have been, it's A.J. Johnson, Marjon Beauchamp, R.J. Hampton, Kevin Porter Jr., but then they traded him. Yeah, right away. DiVincenzo, who has been a key role player, but from a first-round pick, you'd want more. I mean, just going back, they haven't had a hit on a first-round pick. I would say Giannis was their latest one. Jabari could have been, but he got injured, so that one...
I mean, their best one, even those picks, too, wasn't John Horst picks.
No.
You had Malcolm Brogdon there, and he was a second-round pick, but... even like the DiVincenzo one, I think he's gotten better and more of a role player after his Bucks tenure.
Yeah,
when they traded him. So, all right, shot clock's going to cut us off here as the first hour is going to come to an end. We got a few texts we got to get to here, but keep texting us or keep hitting us up on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line or that Section 105 chat on the video stream. Zach, good morning on this video stream as well. So we'll get to your Bucks thoughts, and we'll get to that coming up here in just a little bit. Shot clock's going to cut us off. So send us your VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekends. We'll make our picks as well a little bit later on. All right, news updates. We'll be right back after these quick words.